starting fives are on the floor. And what a scene here in Los Angeles. There's Nate Oates, 5th year at Alabama. First Elite Eight appearance, just the second in program history. Brad Brownell is the head man for Clemson. We tip it, and it is Clemson who controls. Keith Kimball, James Breeding, Brian Dorsey are 3 officials. Standby official is Randy Richardson. This is a veteran, experienced crew. Keith Kimball, 2 national championships and 5 Final Fours, as the first bucket of the game, Jim, comes from their big man, P.J. Hall.
But it's deja vu. That's kind of similar to the play Clemson ran at Alabama. The first possession went right inside to Hall. But the only difference is Muhammad Wagi, when he was starting, Pringle was coming off the bench that game.
Alabama comes up empty on their first offensive possession. Clemson in 3 games in the NCAA tournament has trailed for a total of 50 seconds. That's it. And they take the early lead here tonight in the Elite Eight. They trailed 30 seconds to New Mexico in round 1. They trailed just 20 seconds to Arizona in the Sweet 16 on Thursday. It has been quite the ride for both of these programs. Inside, a shot, unable to hit, knocked out of the hands of Shefflin. That'll be Clemson ball here. There is Brad Brownell, 14th year, as the head man at Clemson. Evansville, Indiana native, his 7th NCAA tournament. He's the all-time winningest basketball coach in Clemson program history.
And with all that said, too, it hasn't been easy. There have been questions regarding his coaching. Can he take his team to the next level? And right now, it's paying right off. And this is where the patience of Clemson kind of wears you in. Alabama wants to play quick, but you can't play quick defense. You have to be able to lock in the 4-shot clock.
That's going to be an offensive foul. Hall hits the deck. Grant Nelson, who was the Sweet 16 star, commits a foul.
Well, here's the issue right here is because that drop coverage, Grant Nelson is in the middle of nowhere. And that time, P.J. Hall, attention to detail in the scouting report, understanding where he needs to be in the middle of the defense, able to get up above the arc, set his feet, and take that charge.
P.J. Hall, one of the best big men in the country. He and Ian Shefflin are a great big man combo, and Shefflin just going to work on Nelson. Backs him down, scores it with the left hand. Alabama needs to get something positive going here. Here is Estrada, the Hofstra transfer. Top scorer is Mark Sears. He misses on his first try. All year long, Clemson holding great 3-point shooting teams way below their season averages. And it's been enhanced here in the NCAA tournament. Teams are shooting from beyond the arc in the teens against Clemson as Gerard misses the jumper. Nelson with a rebound.
Another very similar start. Clemson got off to a fast start. Grant may have gotten away with the walk.
In the corner, here's Rylan Griffin. Offensive ball, put back and a foul. Grant Nelson finally gets Alabama on the board. Nearly 3 minutes into this one. Got a chance at a 3-point play.
But this is where the big body comes into play for Grant Nelson. If you can move quickly, spread this Clemson defense out, now you can't get body to body. You have an opportunity to step in and maybe complete or get an offensive rebound. Much needed basket to kind of calm the nerves a little bit for the Crimson Tide.
How great was Grant Nelson for Alabama against UNC in the Sweet 16? One of those games, they'll call it the Grant Nelson game forever. Stat-stuffing machine in that one. A double-double with 5 blocks as Hall misses a 3. Rylan Griffin the rebound. Here come the Crimson Tide. And Griffin, 5 threes in the Sweet 16 against North Carolina. He's got his first.
And even with Clemson getting back in defense, they were able to stop the initial fast break, but the secondary side of that, Griffin able to clear a little bit of space. Gerard was there, but the size of Griffin won out on that possession.
Notice the ball control, the half-court set to Clemson versus Alabama, trying to get a shot off in the first 8 to 10 seconds. Shefflin is fouled, and they're going to pick Nelson on that foul. It's going to be his second.
But watch this here. The pick and roll, you got to get over the top. And if Pringle can get a piece of the primary defender. Now you're going to be open coming off, and this one right here is a little, it was some contact, but I don't think enough right there for Grant Nelson to kind of get that first foul. And keep in mind, too, in the first game, Alabama at home, first 9.5 minutes of the game, they were 1 for 12 from behind the three-point line. They were 29% in the first half at home. So they did struggle against this defense a little bit in that first game, made a run at it. So it's very interesting to see how they're going to be able to shoot now that we're 4.5 minutes into this game.
Clemson held them to 77 points. Alabama, the top scoring team in the nation. But an early story here as Grant Nelson is on the bench with 2 quick fouls inside the first 4 minutes of this Elite Eight game. Mark Sears turns the corner, little Euro step, nice move. 9 to shoot. Here is Estrada. Estrada inside, kicks it. Just on the floor his first minutes. Jaron Stevenson, offensive board. Another chance here for Bama. Sears. No. Gerard up there flying high. Alabama buys another chance out of it. Pringle is fouled. Boy, they put Clemson on the defensive side of the ball for an eternity. Finally ends as a foul. Free throws from Pringle when we come back. Tournament summary here, still 3 teams seeking their first ever Final Four. 2 of them on the floor here tonight. ACC is rolling. All right, Jimmy, Grant Nelson's on the bench with 2 fouls. His Sweet 16 performance, though, is that of legend. They need him out there.
Well, they do. They need his size, his ability to spread the court, his switch ability to guard in space. And he's an excellent passer. Now, it's unfortunate that he's on the bench right now, but what he has to do is calm his nerves and understand kind of what the flow is of the game when he's able to get back in, able to contribute. But it does hurt early, especially when you come off such a momentous kind of game that now you have to sit and watch.
Send it over to Allie LaForce.
That performance was historic. First player since 2008 to have 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 blocks in a tournament game. He told me coming into that game he was lacking confidence because of how he played just 1 game previously at Grand Canyon. He was 0 for 4 from the field, believe it or not. He's also struggled with foul trouble this season, guys. This is not new. It helped that he was not guarding Armando Bacot. That's why he didn't start on Hall. But they had a plan to specifically attack him, and it's working.
Yeah, great point. 2 fouls early. Clemson goes right at him. P.J. Hall shot fake. Got Pringle up in the air. Now Clark drives. Clark, and it's blocked by Stevenson. So, Jim, both of these coaches are concerned about their big men getting in foul trouble. That is a major story for Brad Brownell in P.J. Hall. He was able to go through the Sweet 16 game and not foul out. He went through the first half without a foul, but it is the same story for Nate Oates concerning Grant Nelson. And Clemson on the attack early.
Well, a big part of the win for Clemson early on is you see the jump shot badly missed. 32 to 22 points in the paint. Okay, so if you're able to control the paint, you're controlling tempo. Beautiful inside pick and roll right there.
Missed the layup. Chase Hunter, talented point guard, running the show for Clemson. Inside, outside game. The high-low action is excellent in the corner. That's Chase Hunter who misses. He's got his younger brother on the squad too. They had finishing touches in the Sweet 16 game with and-ones. And they'll both be on the floor together at times, Dylan and Chase. Estrada, guarded by Chase Hunter. Estrada inside. Stevenson caught it deep. Stevenson lays it in.
And that's a beautiful play by Estrada. Why? Because he took an extra dribble. That extra dribble allows Stevenson to get inside, clear some space, and then get open.
Inside, P.J. Hall. Pringle's on him. Double team comes. Sam Walters just on the floor. Shows it. Hall turns away from it. Wow. Big time move by P.J. Hall.
Well, he can do that. A lot of scouts are looking at his consistency from behind the three-point line. A beautiful cut by Stevenson right there, but now another miss inside by Pringle. That's 2 right at the rim. 4 points that are not on the board for the Crimson Tide.
Shefflin and Hall have all the Clemson points. Shefflin, great catch and a strong finish. So with Nelson on the bench and 2 fouls, Clemson continues to pound the paint. Substitutions coming here from both coaches. Mark Sears dumps it inside. Stevenson, a rim run, a breakdown defensively for Clemson.
Now that's 3 pick and rolls where the Crimson Tide have been patient. They set the screen and they were able to benefit off the roll guy being open.
Inside again. Shefflin missed it. Sam Walters clears the board. Aaron Estrada. Probing. Estrada excellent with the ball. High assist man. Trying to set up this man right here. Sears. Can't get the shooter's bounce. Wow, Pringle came in there hot. Dylan Hunter hit the deck. So a foul is called here on Aaron Estrada.
And this time a little confusion defensively. That time by Shefflin up top about who was going to get back. And when you have an empty side corner, meaning no one is in the corner, that one you don't have rotation, you can't help inside. That was an easy 2 based off that miscommunication.
Muhammad Wagi in the game for Nate Oates. Trying to buy some minutes here with Nelson out. Here's Wagi. Walking down, Joe. I beg your pardon. RJ Godfrey. Wagi making an impact right away.
Two 10s down there. This is good one-on-one defense. Randall baseline. Wagi said, "Now let me get this one."
Mohamed Diabate, Mohamed Wagi, a couple of guys that been out of the rotation a little bit as Gerard misses a 3. Both going to get minutes here in this first half. Diabate and Wagi on the floor with Sears and Griffin and Walters down in the bottom corner. 3-point shooter. Griffin is that as well. Comes up short. Wagi keeps it alive. Gets it back. A scrum for it. Ball is loose. And that's going to be a foul. So Mohamed Diabate will be called for the foul.
Well, watch the scramble at the end. The tip, no good. The second opportunity, but 3 or 4 Clemson players around and got down on the ground. And right there with the contact that was at with Diabate. That time on Godfrey. But you love to see the hustle because, as you know, at this situation, every possession is so critical.
Dylan Hunter at the point here with his brother on the bench. Gerard looking inside to the post. RJ Godfrey's a good passer out of there too. Godfrey gonna take it and he scores at a foul. RJ Godfrey, chance at a 3-point play. He'll have a free throw when we come back.
Big time move inside and right through the finish. That's all that weightlifting for football back in the day.
Journey through the tourney presented by Marriott Bonvoy. Alabama's had to go a long way from Tuscaloosa to Spokane. They came straight down here to LA and they're hoping to stay out here west and go to Phoenix for the Final Four. Moment ago, Allie with Alabama head coach Nate Oates.
Coach, I know you mentioned physicality would potentially be a concern. What else was getting in the way of the offensive performance?
We're missing layups. We got to finish at the rim, and that's part of the physicality is you got to take a bump and finish. We're fouling too much down here. It's getting in the post every time they want it to, so we got to clean up our post D, and we just got to finish down there.
When do you consider bringing Nelson back in?
He's coming right now.
Thank you, Coach.
And there he is with the ball in his hands. Thank you, Allie, and thanks to Nate Oates. And they're looking for Nelson. He was chewed up in the paint, couldn't get the pass to him, and Nick Pringle off to a slow start here in this Elite Eight game. He's missed a couple of those layups that Nate Oates was referencing.
Well, but listen, just because you draw up the play and Grant is the designator receiver of the ball, you got to read it. That time Pringle was already predetermined to throw the ball. And he didn't see that Grant got bumped and threw him off, and hence you turn the basketball on.
P.J. Hall going behind the back. Unnecessary, and a turnover for P.J. Hall.
See, that's the kind where you really don't want to look at the sideline after you do that.
Just keep it, put that ball in play and keep going.
Hurry up and get the ball in play and keep it. And Coach Brownell was telling them to square up, open up, and face up your defender, then attack him.
First turnover for Clemson. And here's Sears, misses a three. Pringle is there with a follow, and he finishes this one.
No, he got that one. He was right head at the rim. And I know it's a sigh of relief that time for Pringle to say, okay, Nick finally said, okay, I got it. I can calm down a little bit.
And Pringle guarding P.J. Hall. Hall missed it. Pringle bothered him. Good sequence here for Nick Pringle. On the offensive end, then back on D. Sears, they switch it. Hall's on him now. Sears drives on, and Sears missed the layup. R.J. Godfrey pulls down another board.
Yeah, the Hall length that time influenced that shot on Sears. He had to adjust it at the last minute. See a mismatch inside Godfrey.
Godfrey had Sears on him. He's got another and one. Caught the mismatch. R.J. Godfrey just bullying his way to another layup and a foul.
Well, the mismatch. Godfrey was able to sprint down the court, and Sears got caught on him inside. And because you have some outstanding spacing by Clemson, that makes that passing lane a lot easier. Now, when the help does choose to come, they're a little late to the party.
His father, terrific career in the NFL, linebacker Randall Godfrey. Played his college ball at Georgia. So with Shefflin on the bench, Godfrey has given Clemson some good minutes here. 2-and-1s. And the Tigers up 5 through the first half of this first half. Trip to the Final Four to date with UConn and Phoenix. And the Final Four is up for grabs. And it'll be the first Final Four for whoever wins this matchup. Estrada, wild off the backboard. Chase Hunter. Picked up by Griffin.
And you can see, too, how difficult, why this Clemson defense is so good, because you got to be able to operate and negotiate through traffic. That time, Estrada on that drive thought he had a lane, but it closed quickly. Great defense.
Again, Nelson came over to help, but well defended by Estrada. 12 to shoot. It'll be Clemson ball, baseline out of bounds.
Well, just when you think you have a gap, look at this. You got 4 jerseys around you, okay? So that's a tough shot. And Estrada, remember, is left-handed. He tried to shoot that right-handed because he could not get to his left hand.
That's a great call. Gerard finds Hunter. Nothing there. Cut off by Nelson. And Hunter. That little flow game is good. He's so good around the basket. The senior guard from Atlanta, Georgia. Westlake High School. Sears drives it, missed it. Pringle, offensive rebound, and is fouled. Pringle's been active. 8 offensive rebounds for Alabama. Hey, refuel with this delivery-only offer from Wendy's and Coke Zero Sugar. Order now in the Wendy's app and snag $0 delivery fee.
What a smart play that time by Chase Hunter. A little pump fake. Got to a sweet spot. A high percentage shot. Good defense, too, right there. Look at Hunter.
Steal by Hunter. On the breakout. Hunter going all the way. He's fouled. It goes! Griffin is down, grabbing at the back of his leg. He committed the foul. Chase Hunter will go to the line. And this already banged up Crimson Tide team anxiously watching to see if Rylan Griffin can get up.
Well, listen, this defense is on a string. I told you, you think you have openings, but they're there, the bodies in place to be able to get to and influence some passes. And you see right there on the back end, Estrada hits it. But this is what makes Clemson so good defensively, is that kind of never out of position. They don't try to attempt. Sometimes they do. They'll jab at a steal, maybe miss, but they play solid defense. So you're going to have to beat them and make tough twos. That's the thing about it. Run you off the three-point line and force you to make some tough two-point shots.
So Hunter will go to the line to try to finish off a three-point chance here. Rylan Griffin goes to the bench. He was trying to stay in the game, so that's good news, but Sam Walters enters, and we'll keep an eye on Griffin. He's not sitting down. He's just trying to walk it off, but walking with a limp over there. Another and one finished off by Clemson. They've got an 8-0 run going here, and they lead by 10.
How about this? 14 of the 23 points by Clemson. You want to know what the game plan is? It's in the paint.
Got a foul down there in the paint. That's going to be on Godfrey. Second foul on R.J. Godfrey. Had 7 points in 11 minutes against Arizona. Got himself into some foul trouble in that one. Good minutes for him. PJ Hall's just picked up the 1 foul at this point. It's always a big story with Clemson. Bama ball needing something to go their way. Hunter guarding Sears. Sears head fake. Sears probing, kicks it. That's Stevenson for 3, and it's an air ball.
And look at the pace. Slow it down. The tempo is ours. And the question for Nate Oates' team is this, is that can you be disciplined enough when you're not able to run and score to get yourself back in this game offensively with this tough defense by Clemson?
Jack Clark misses. Sears the board. With a long drought here for Alabama. Sears, what a pass that was, and Estrada missed it. That's going to be a foul on Clemson on the rebound.
I think it was on Gerard on the back on Grant Nelson.
Indeed. Gerard picks up the foul. Alabama ball here. Watch the men's Elite 8 on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Download now. Stay up to date on all the action. UConn has punched their ticket to the Final Four, trying to make it back-to-back titles. They are still alive, and they are dominant. Estrada comes up short. Shefflin the board. 1 field goal in over 5 minutes here for the Crimson Tide. That was Pringle. Team that is averaging 91 a game, the best scoring team in the nation.
Well, a lot of the shots, too, for Alabama have been under duress, and then you come down here for Clemson, you're able to get some one-on-one opportunities in the post.
Using all that clock, and with 5 to shoot, Jack Clark, it's like the number on his back, sticks the landing, and it's 26-13, and it's an 11-0 Clemson run. Clemson's got it at their pace, imposing their will in the first half here as Estrada. He's a guy who can throw it down into second gear himself.
That was a tough move, man. You know, but he wanted to get back to that right shoulder, left hand. He was patient, got enough space between he and Shefflin that time. Able to get it up in a much-needed basket for Alabama.
Chauncey Wiggins rises up over Nelson. And Nelson comes away with the board. Alabama down 11 with the ball here as we approach the 7-minute mark of this first half. And Estrada gives it up. Sam Walters got that quick release. Shefflin clears. Clemson at 24-11. Thursday, they played in their first Sweet 16 in 6 years. Tonight, their first Elite 8 since 1980. Been 44 years since they last played at an Elite 8 game. Been 20 years for Alabama since their last Elite 8 game. Wiggins, no. Sears, nothing there, cut off. Dylan Hunter all over him. Hunter finds Estrada, kick it to the corner. Stevenson again, he's found the range from the corner this time.
But it was excellent patience. See, the thing that Clemson is doing, they're keeping the ball in front of them. Alabama shoots 33s a game, they make 11, but they're able to turn the corner and force you to have to be in rotation. The more patient you are, get them the gaps, you can get open shots like Stevenson just hit.
Timeout on the floor. Clemson and Alabama. 6:05 remaining in this first half. And the Tigers lead it by 8. Thank you, EJ. How about that 30-0 run? UConn is a juggernaut right now. They look poised to repeat, Jim.
Well, the question was last year's team better or this year? This year's team is different. Andre Jackson on that team was just a straight-up dog. He was a leader. Hawkins coming out, but they're deeper. I think they're more developed mentally in regards to going through a lot of stuff last year. And defensively, they're a lot better, too. So they just operate at a high level, man.
Overall #1 seed. That's a corner 3 from Estrada. Alabama gets a stop. They go down to the other end of the floor and hit a 3. And now they're on a little run here of 8-0. It's a 5-point game. Gerard passed it up, had Pringle out defensively. Gerard, their best 3-point shooter. Stopped at 100 3-pointers this year. Hall dumps it down into Shefflin. Working on Stevenson. Shefflin, no. And Shefflin trying to keep it alive. Let's see. Who's it going to be? Officials look at one another. That'll be Bama ball.
Well, you know, the young freshman, Stevenson, played some great defense. And here's in transition, finally Alabama able to clear some space and knock it in and cut into this lead down 5.
All smiles, 2 programs making it to the Elite 8. Just the second time for each. Don't forget, you can get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament on NCAA.com. Allie, a moment ago with Clemson head coach Brad Brownell.
Well, Coach, how did your defense rattle the nation's top scoring team early?
Yeah, early is the key word there. They just made a couple threes back to back. You know, we did a good job. I think we're into the ball. We're doing some good things with our offense to keep the game the way we want it, but long way to go here.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Now focused on that three-point line, Jimmy, and Allie's referencing the 1 for 13 start by Alabama from beyond the arc. They've made the last 2. Stevenson and Estrada hit corner threes. And it's a 5-point game, and it is an 8-0 Bama run with the ball.
Well, here's the thing about Alabama. When you attempt 33s a game, and right now you're at 15, you got a little more room, margin of error. They figured they can turn it around. But it's the quality of the shot, is if you can get it in transition, or does your half-court offense loosen up the defense to get shots like that one right there.
Stevenson in the corner again. 3 corner threes. And Alabama is right back in it with a flurry and an 11-0 run in 2.5 minutes of game clock. Clemson has not scored in over 3 minutes. 2-point game. Clemson with the ball, now a turnover. Pringle's down, looks hurt. Limping his way back up the floor. Inside Estrada on the lap, he missed it. Hall with the board. Back come the Tigers now. And the pull-up from Chase Hunter, smooth. Steady operator. Chase Hunter, what a player he is.
Keep in mind, this is an offensive-minded team that bought into playing defense. So the thing is, well, Clemson doesn't like to get out in fast break. Well, they do. You make a mistake, they have numbers. Beautiful pass inside by Pringle, that time to Sears. But Clemson will take the opportunistic opportunity to go out and break. And you saw that smart play by Chase Hunter, just a little pull-up and beautiful pass inside the great defense.
Sears from behind, Holt dives for it. What effort here by both teams. Timeout here, the under 4 media timeout. It's a ball game in the Elite 8. Clemson by 2. Been an extended run here for Bama, 13-2. They were down 13, now within 2. Had a held ball. Possession arrow belongs to Alabama. Alabama's banged up, Allie LaForce. They're trying to make it to the Final Four to get one of their key pieces back in Latrell Wrightsell Jr.
That's right. Coach told me before the game that that's a huge motivating factor to get him one last career game at least, if not more. He's making progress. He is working out, and he will be back for the Final Four if Alabama can advance. You guys also on Griffin, you saw him re-enter the game after a really scary fall. Alabama won't tell me exactly what the injury was, but they called it a lower body extremity injury, and he should be good to go the rest of the game. Pringle, who just subbed out, was dealing with the left heel bruise. It's something that actually he suffered on Thursday, but it's been a flare-up all season long, so he's very comfortable and used to managing playing with it.
Yeah, we saw him in the Sweet 16. It bothered him a great deal late in that game, but he muscled his way through it. Alabama, a chance to tie or take the lead here. And that's going to be a foul on Hunter as Stevenson was driving baseline.
You know, in Allie's report, too, and this is great by you, by Latrell Wrightsell. Yes, you lose a 44% shooter, but it impacts your rotation. But more importantly, it impacts your spacing on the court, because when he's not there, you're able to help in a little bit more on the shooter who is not as potent from behind the three-point line. So it's 3 areas that you're missing when he's on the court, when he's not on the court.
17 in round 1. He made 5 threes in that game against Charleston in round 1. Stevenson again, air ball this time. So he's had 2 air balls and 2 corner hits. It's all or nothing right now.
And that time Nate Oates, Coach Nate Oates, told him to stay with it. That time I thought that when Stevenson caught it, he didn't have his legs up underneath him, hence off balance a little bit, left it short.
Approaching a 3-minute mark. Alabama has come roaring back. Shefflin down to Hall. Hall comes up short. Nelson. And he gives it up as Clark got it back. Hall missed it. Nelson's on the floor. Sears pushes. Estrada drives. Estrada misses the reverse. Out to Griffin. Corner three. Cash. And Alabama on the scramble has taken the lead here.
And that's a 5-point swing. The two that Clemson should have had, but they gave up and didn't. And then the three-pointer back at this end.
Gerard for three, missed it. Struggling with his shot right now. Alabama on a 16-2 run here. Sears fires, no good, and that's going to be a foul. Jack Clark and Clemson commit the foul underneath. It'll stay on this side of the floor. Don't forget, you can watch Masters Live for exclusive coverage of Amen Corner 15 and 16 and featured groups. Watch live on the CBS Sports app. I know what Jim Cornell, our director, is doing here. Look
the green
at that
jacket.
Green jacket, Allie. It's a perfect color. You know, you're not supposed to take that away from Augusta National. The great Sam Pullis with her as well. That's a tight jacket.
It's tight. The color fits perfectly right now, especially with all that orange in the background over the green. Kind of just stands out a little bit. Plus, Allie's an athlete, so you know, she got a little swing in it. But you know, that last play was an example of playing fast. You see Grant Nelson's number because they were able to push. Nelson was able to get out in front of the defense. He didn't make it, but he got out in front and picked up another foul because of that tempo they were able to get right there on that possession.
I wonder if Nate Oates probably feels like he's flirting with it a little bit, keeping Nelson on the floor right now late in this first half. He's got 2 fouls. Pringle's trying to get in the game. Here's Hunter, pull up three-pointer, in and out. And a battle for it, ends up with Hall, and that's an offensive foul. Stevenson stands in there, takes the charge.
It's a lot of contact going on inside the paint. I love the officials allowing things to play, but this is the 3rd time the young freshman Stevenson has played solid post defense inside. He's influenced P.J. Hall a couple of times, and that time, instead of swiping down or trying to block the shot, it triggered in his mind, I'm going to take a charge. And he got his feet set, and he identified that he was outside the arc. That time, another critical defensive stop by the Crimson Tide.
Both big men are out. P.J. Hall, Grant Nelson. 17-2 is the run here. Under 2 minutes to go. Sears guarded by Hunter. Sears lets it fly and knocks it down. Mark Sears has Alabama jumping. 5-point Bama lead. Now Clemson trying to turn the tide. They dump it down inside to Shefflin. Pringle's on it. Shefflin, a flurry of moves. Got it. Steady player down there. Ian Shefflin.
Yeah, good patience. Pringle had good defense. Shefflin able to line drive that one in, and Sears
dropped his man, headed to 3. Got a foul underneath on Shefflin. Brad Barnell having a chat with his 2 big men right there, R.J. Godfrey and P.J. Hall. Each with 2 fouls in this first half. Pringle back to the line. Nick Pringle elevated into that starting lineup for Alabama with the absence of Latrell Wrightsell. Second consecutive start. He misses the free throw. Chase Hunter, ball control it here as we approach the final minute in this first half. Clemson got up by 13 quickly. Alabama with a monster answer. Gerard quiets it down. He needed that one.
A beautiful play and execution that time. Drawn up there by Coach Barnell to get Gerard in a safe space right in between the defense, about 14 feet.
Rylan Griffin, he's a 3-point shooter. Shefflin out on it. Griffin now drives it. Griffin, strong finish. Rylan Griffin. Clemson making Alabama drive the ball, trying to protect that line, and they're cashing in here. Bama by 3. 2 seconds separating shot clock and game clock. The score is in Clemson's favor, but this Alabama run certainly has the momentum on their side. Shefflin, the playmaker, looking for Gerard. Got 2 on him. Somebody's open. Inside Wiggins. Can he get it for time? Officials look at each other.
I think so.
Shot clock violation. Alabama is going to call the timeout. Right now, 0.5 is left. Let's see if they add some time on it. Yeah, didn't get it off. And they'll probably put a little bit more on the game clock. Shot clock will stay, beg your pardon, the game clock will stay at 0.5. It's going to be Bama ball here. Coming up, AT&T at the half. EJ and the gang will have their first half analysis, plus a look ahead to tomorrow's final 2 games of the Elite Eight. It's all coming up on AT&T at the half. Dominating performance by UConn. And now the second of our Elite Eight games here on TBS. Not a lot of time to work with here. Baseball pass and something quick. Only 0.5. Yep. Sears fires it. And that'll take us to the end of the first half. A surge by Alabama. They trailed 26-13. They were down 13. They closed the second half on a 22-6 run. As we send it over to Allie LaForce.
Well, Coach, your team is shooting just 33%. That's unlikely for you, but you're up 3. How'd you do it?
Our defense picked up, and then our offensive rebounds have really saved us. You know, we're missing way too many at the rims. Sears took a little bit to get going, but our offensive rebounding and our defense has been pretty good.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Now remember those 4 early turnovers. No turnovers in the last 9 minutes for Alabama. We're set up for a dandy here in Los Angeles. The SEC against the ACC. Clemson and Alabama to the studio after this. Just about ready to start half number 2 of this Elite Eight matchup. Winner to the Final Four, 35-32. Alabama with 2 significant runs in that first half. The last one a 20-2 run to finish that first half. Brian Anderson, Jim Jackson. We'll hear from Allie in just a moment. And Alabama got up 21 3-point attempts. They made 5 of their last 8, Jim. It's our AT&T Connected Cam. Take us a look.
Well, they were able to Crimson Tide to kind of figure out how to get out and run. They're going to see an example right here in transition. We freeze it right here. 1, 2, 4 players, 5 players, all within this restricted area. What happens now, you're able to get this pass over the top because you kind of shrink the defense. You push it up quick. You're able to get to your spots and you're able to knock in a shot. Few and far in between, but it's not how many you make, it's when you make them, and that was during the run that Clemson kind of got back in this game, is ultimately having a 3-point lead here at half.
Let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
Hey guys, Coach Brunell told his teammate we're just rushing things a little bit, especially when we get to the rim. Just keep our pace offensively. Don't let them speed us up. And he said, listen, we have to make some threes. They're just 1 of 9 from deep. Defensively, he thought that sometimes Alabama was able to speed them up. Again, it comes down to pacing in the second half for Clemson.
And remember, Allie's report earlier, this is the second meeting of the year between these two. Clemson beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa, made 11 threes in that game. A lot of that falls on this man right here with the ball, Gerard. Just 1 for 8 from 3-point range. Guy who's made 100 3-pointers this season as Shefflin gets it deep. He's fouled, and the first possession for Clemson is an and 1 for Ian Shefflin.
And why that was huge, 20 points in the paint, but it was early in the game Clemson kind of controlled that painted area. They had 12 to 14 points and then kind of got stuck on some really great interior defense by the Crimson Tide, but why not go back to the well? At the beginning of the game, it went to P.J. Hall inside. This one, Ian Shefflin was able to get deep post position, and you go right to that and have an opportunity to get an and 1.
Foul on Pringle. He picks up his first. Shefflin will try to finish off a 3-point possession to tie this game. Clemson in the first 3 games of this NCAA tournament, remember, only trailing 50 seconds. They led most of the first half, only trailed 3 minutes and 17 seconds. Shefflin can't finish it off. Clemson has not been behind at the half thus far in this tournament. Nelson lost the handle, falls down, and Grant Nelson turns it over. Got those 2 fouls early. Nelson played long minutes without fouling in that first half, though, when he came back. There's a foul rebound, and now Clark puts it back up and in. Wow, Jack Clark flying high for that one.
Yo, somebody take that trampoline off the court, because that time he was able to get inside, Clark was, and get Clemson's first second chance point in. But he finished that thing with his left hand also. So heads up play where the defense was located in the lane.
Rylan Griffin in traffic. Oh, nice pass. Finds Sears. Excellent ball movement there. And Rylan Griffin with a beautiful dime. Team Sears enjoying that one. Alabama back in front. And Clark finds Shefflin. Good ball movement here. Remember, Clemson wants to slow this thing down. Ball possession kind of team. There's Pringle with the rebound.
That's a good possession that time by Clemson. Got the shot you wanted. Unfortunately, you just weren't able to complete it. And right back at you. Alabama's going to push it.
Inside, Nelson gives it up. Pringle, two-handed jam. So it's the Crimson Tide with the big-to-big passing here.
Well, part of the tide has changed when they figured out how and when they could push the tempo. And tempo is not always in your fast break, but how you run your cuts, how you move the basketball, how you speed set a screen. That's what they figured out in their half-court set while they're successful.
There's Girard, and a pump of the fist. He needed that one. An exhale as Joe Girard, deadly three-point specialist. Bama by one. Just a second made three for Clemson. Jack Clark hit the other one. Griffin, another pass. Nelson, good catch. Aaron Estrada. He's got Clark on him. Estrada, the lefty, spins. Estrada leaves it. Pringle. And he's fouled. Pringle bothered by that sore heel, as Ali reported. His motions aren't fluid. You can just tell it's giving him trouble. But he's got free throws coming.
I mean, it's just a challenge too when you want to try to guard off the pick and roll to move the slide over. You want to get out in transition. You want to check out your guy, get a defensive rebound. All these things require you to be able to explode.
Knocks in the first. Hey, the new Max Original Series, The Penguin, the next chapter in the Batman saga. Stars Academy Award nominee Colin Farrell. Premieres this fall exclusively on Max. Nick Pringle, that one-handed free throw. He's got his left hand up there, but it's not touching the basketball. It's only as a guide. And Pringle, who can be a playmaker and a lob threat, having a nice rally in this game after a rough start to it. Bama leads it by 3. Clemson with a ball. Kick ball, reset it to 20. Alabama taking down the top seed in the West. Nate Oates, 5 seasons as the head coach at Alabama, 4 NCAA tournament appearances, 7 wins. They were the overall #1 seed last year. In the previous 27 seasons at Alabama before Nate Oates arrived, it's just 9 NCAA tournament appearances and only 8 wins. Oh! P.J. Hall cocks it back, throws it down. Vicious slam by Hall. Got the Clemson's fan on their feet. Estrada, a flurry of moves. Cut off, though. Good pass. Nelson crashes. Nelson hammers one down. What an answer.
Back-to-back plays made by bigs, but some great passing, ball movement, and then, of course, the finish inside. There's Grant.
Got the block. Out in front, Griffin. He runs it. And to goaltend. Score that basket. Time for It Takes More. Presented by Powerade. Both big men rocking the rim here, Jim.
Well, when you can shoot from behind the 3, you pump fake, you get there. And Grant Nelson made the executive decision to get out the way, but then not to be denied. Excellent pass. And you said this Pringle can make plays, able to get that to Grant Nelson. And here's the goal to, let's see if it's on the glass right there. Yep, good call by the official.
Chase Hunter at the controls. Experienced Clemson team. Here's Hunter now, trying to drive it, cut off. Godfrey. First minutes on the floor in the second half. They repost him. Godfrey guarded by Stevenson. 9 to shoot. Godfrey gives it up. Hall's cut off. Now it's 5. Now to 4. And Hall lays it in with a foul. Stayed patient. P.J. Hall, one of the best big men in the country. Can shoot it. He's skilled. He's got power inside. He's got a chance at a three-point play.
Well, we got a good one brewing here, and P.J. Hall just sent everyone to the rafters on that last dunk. But the multi-talented, multi-skilled big man can beat you inside on the post. He can step out, hit the threes with excellent pressure, and he's showing off that athleticism right there on that dunk. It's a reason why Clemson has gotten to this position, because he's able to stretch the defense, pull defenders out of the lane, and then either make plays, make shots. He opens up and gives you so many viable options offensively.
First team All-ACC, finished 4th in the conference in scoring as he misses a three-point chance. So P.J. Hall gets the 2, but not the foul shot, and Bama still leads by 3. Mark Sears, been a struggle for him. They want to get him going, and he's got a sweet stroke. Sears coming alive now. That gives him 11, but he's 4 for 13 from the field. 3 of those 4 made baskets are three-pointers, though.
Yeah, but that offensive possession was what, maybe 10 seconds, and they were able to get a shot up.
Pringle gets the block from behind.
And see, the thing is, that's the rhythm that this offense is accustomed to getting. So you play with that. And I think when they began to play, well, they bled the shot clock a little bit more than 10 seconds. But once they begin to get that rhythm offensively in their half-court set, that's when the points and the shots went in more frequently than early when they were kind of just slugging their way through it a little bit.
Sears started 0 for 6 from beyond the arc. He's made his last 3. Dylan Hunter back on the floor with his brother Chase. They play a little catch here. Late clock once again, down to 5. Godfrey got to go here inside. P.J. Hall. Hall in traffic. Turnaround is good. Wow. With a talent like P.J. Hall, you can get late in the clock and come up with something.
The challenge, too, though, with the bigs with Clemson, if you allow those easy passes inside and turnover.
Saved by Clark. Saved by Hall. Sears hit the deck. Into the corner goes Clark for 3. And he touched it. Godfrey got up there, got his hand on it. That might have had a chance to go in. It was certainly a soft landing.
Yeah, Godfrey wanted to, he anticipated coming on, more so in the front, but is it? Oh yeah, he got it right there, yep. A hand in the cookie jar, and he knew it too.
He knew it.
But I was saying this, part of what you got to do with Clemson, especially in their high-low set, when they're offensive, on the offensive end, if you want to kind of manage post defense, you got to put pressure on the passer. If you don't, they're going to pick you apart, because P.J. Hall and Shefflin are so good at moving and then getting deep post position that once the ball is entered, you're kind of at the whim of what they want to do.
Got a foul here on Clark. Yeah, Nate Oates said Clemson kind of reminds him of Tennessee in the SEC, similar way they play. Of course, Tennessee, one of the 2 SEC teams to advance into the Elite 8. Still alive. Of the 8 that made it, Jack Clark just picked up his 3rd foul. So he'll go to the bench here. Chauncey Wiggins on the floor. Sears and Pringle work the 2-man game. Sears has found his stroke. And now it's Griffin who gets the handoff. Missed it. Dylan Hunter the rebound. Clemson down 4 with the ball. Hall with a post up. Takes a peek. Double team comes. He spins out of it. And Godfrey, a strong move in there. R.J. Godfrey He's been a handful in the paint for Alabama. Sears kicks it. Stevenson, yes sir! Jaron Stevenson. So satisfying for him. He's a Chapel Hill native. His mother played for North Carolina, knocked out the 1 seed in the Sweet 16 Thursday.
But he read Mark Sears exactly where he was going. He provided the spacing, stepped behind the three-point line, side of vision to step up there and let it go. Able to knock in another corner three.
Hall goes to work. He was looking for R.J. Godfrey, but a bullet pass. And Hall turns it over. How about the ball movement by the Crimson Tide, though, Jimmy?
Well, you get in your offense, you attract, look, it's 3 Tigers wrapped around Mark Sears. Why? Because he's that potent of a scorer. Then if you're his teammates, you just got to find the areas and gaps that are open because he's going to find you. And when you do that, you don't think about it. That's shooting practice right there for Jaron Stevenson.
Stevenson has made 3 threes. He's just a 29% three-point shooter this year, but he's 3 out of 6. From beyond the arc. He's put up a couple of air balls, but he hit a big corner threes in the first half, part of the comeback. Sears knocked it off his hand. Actually, it's going to be touched last by Sears. He thought that was out on Hunter, but it'll be Clemson ball.
But let's take a look right. It went off his foot.
Oh, yeah, went off his foot. Easy call.
Easy call by the official. And back to Stevenson, too. You talked about the shooting percentage. A lot of it is what kind of shots are you taking? The ones we've seen when he's been wide open, he's been more efficient. As he grows as a player, he has a beautiful stroke. His shot discernment, I think, to me, is going to determine his percentages.
Keep an eye on Gerard now. Shot fake at the blow by. And he gets the shooter's bounce. So Gerard has hit his last 2. One of those a three-pointer. He's got 7. In the corner, it's Stevenson again. His 4th three-pointer. Jaron Stevenson coming up big. He's got 16 now. 4 of his 6 made baskets from beyond the arc.
And how about it? It was Grant Nelson who was kind of the hero for Alabama in the last game, and Stevenson is setting something up. They would have witnessed that. He has his imprint all over it.
Dylan Hunter cannot answer. Pringle with the rebound. And Estrada wants to push it a little bit. Clemson gets back well. Estrada probing, puts it up and denied. Oh, what a play! Chase Hunter got the block and kept it alive. Some kind of athlete.
Oh, man.
Chase Hunter.
Yeah, with the block, then the save. There's Godfrey again.
Got the board, going in strong. Godfrey, yes!
He's a beast inside.
Some power.
I mean, that
like
football,
a young Jim Jackson right there.
There he is. That football mentality. Carve out space, but then a soft touch inside where he's able to finish those putbacks in close.
Hunter is right with Estrada. Estrada couldn't shake him and turns it over. Chase Hunter starting to put his roots down right now. How about this play? The block and the save.
And then inside Godfrey, not to be denied, using that big football body inside to finish.
Going to a watch party? Just tell Siri. Remind me to grab drinks and cups.
Cheer on your favorite NCAA team with officially licensed fan gear. For the best selection of team apparel and accessories, you can head to ncaa.com/shop. Well, Clemson defensively, they have played some up-tempo, high-scoring teams in this NCAA tournament. New Mexico, Baylor, Arizona, and now Alabama. They've done a great job protecting the three-point line, Jimmy, but Alabama having a way right now.
Tempo. They've been able to get back over half court before Clemson has been able to identify and set their defense, and they've gotten in turn corners, forcing a little bit more help. Hence, these sprays out to the side, beautiful play, are open.
Hall spins into a double team. It's blocked. But Stevenson and Nelson were there, and now out of the pack comes Griffin.
I tell you what, Jaron Stevenson, he's had some excellent defensive possessions inside against P.J. Hall.
Estrada keeps his dribble. Nelson, three-pointer, short. Long rebound. Nelson's got it. He's fouled, and Hall got him. Those are the kind of fouls that drive Brad Brownell crazy with Hall. He's fouled out of 7 games this year. He picks up number 3 right here.
But that time it was he picked it up because he didn't block out. He assumed the shot was going up and somebody else was going to get it, and Grant Nelson beat him to the punch that first step. Once he reached out, cancel Christmas, he picked up that foul.
So Nelson and Hall, the 2 big men for each team with 3 fouls apiece. Nelson's going to let it fly again, in and out. Hall with the rebound. The thing about Clemson, those opponents that they had in the NCAA tournament, on average, Clemson has held those teams to about 19 points per game off their scoring average. As Hall drives it, is fouled, but a shot off the glass to get himself 2.
Well, but you are who you are at this point of the season, and Alabama is not going to change that. But what they had to figure out, Brian, was once again pace. How can we get this game a little bit faster, whether that's in transition full court or once we step over half court. And once they figured out, okay, this is what we need to do, they've been able to find some opportunities to speed it up a little bit and get some open looks.
Grant Nelson just picks up his 4th foul. Decision time here for Nate Oates. And Nick Pringle is on his way in. Stay tuned for a special presentation of Mud Madness tonight after NCAA coverage. Don't miss the series premiere April 9th on Discovery. Foul trouble. That's a big loss right there for Alabama as Nelson picks up his 4th, 24 points, 12 rebounds, 5 blocks in 36 minutes against the top seed Carolina Tar Heels. Hall gets 1 out of 2. Clemson within 3. And P.J. Hall will sit. He's got 3 fouls. Imploring his fan base to get on their feet. They oblige. Chase Hunter just disrupting everything right now defensively.
Well, that time he better had because Estrada was wide open in the corner. So that activity, he didn't get the steal, but yet the deflection forces now, takes away an open 3, but it forces Alabama to reset their offense right now.
Hunter's a big scorer, averaging nearly 20 a game in the NCAA tournament. Here is Estrada. The lefty fires, he misses. Dylan Hunter with the rebound. Clemson can tie it with a 3. Godfrey given all kind of space to maneuver, and now he sets up Hunter. He liked it, but he missed it. Shefflin, the offensive rebound. Hunter is fouled. Let's see who they get. Stevenson and Sears closing. Mark Sears will be called for the foul on the reach. 5th team foul for Alabama.
When you're trying to stretch out the lead against a tough-minded veteran team, you can't give up those offensive rebounds because generally, Brian, those type of teams or these type of teams make you pay on the next possession.
Gerard can't dribble himself free. Now Dylan Hunter doesn't give him a lot of scoring. Shot clock down to 3. Shefflin posting up. Double team comes. Shefflin in traffic blocked. Stevenson got that one. Wow. Man, he is having a night. Jaron Stevenson, both sides of the ball.
Young fella. I mean, he's grown up right here. And Nate Oates, saw something in this young man and stayed with him all season. And right now, in one of the biggest moments, he's not only hit shots, and I talked about that, but it's his defense that's just as impactful. And it's funny how Grant Nelson's shot making was great, but it was his defense. Jaron Stevenson, it's his shot making, but it's been his defense that has really added so much value to what the Crimson Tide has been doing since they've been able to get back in this game and take the lead.
Up 3 with the ball, Alabama. Gerard guarding Griffin. Here's a screen, big screen by Pringle. Sears, quick release. Oh, Sears rips it. Mark Sears stays hot. Started 0 for 6. He's made his last 4 3-pointers. Gerard, short. Joe Girard now 1 out of 5 from 3-point range.
That was a good look too. That time he had his legs up underneath him, an offensive foul. Estrada.
Hunter hit the deck. Estrada picks up the foul, and that'll be Clemson ball. Alabama picking up their 6th team foul.
Lefty, let it go. Chase Hunter, too much space in between, and here's Estrada. On the obvious offensive foul that time, trying to get in the side, get in the way of Chase Hunter. And look at Mark Sears.
How about it? Most points in a single season. He's got the record here. The only player in the rotation on the roster from Alabama's from Muscle Shoals, transfer from Ohio. Ball goes around the horn. Inside now, Shefflin. He's going to work on Stevenson, and a foul.
Well, he didn't play that time.
Shefflin went with purpose right there.
He didn't play because the times P.J. Hall's kind of played with a little bit, Stevenson, his length was able to impact it. That time, Shefflin got it, spent to the baseline, put that right shoulder right into the middle of Stevenson's chest, created that contact, and picked up the foul.
7-team foul, going to be bonus the rest of the way for Clemson. This was a shooting foul anyway, so he's got 2. And this is the first. Head to Bleacher Report for the latest episodes of From the Point by Trey Young. Features the basketball stars' conversations with A-list guests, his unique perspective on stories from around the league. Download the Bleacher Report app to watch now. Chef Houts are out for Ian Shefflin, a fan favorite. 1 out of 2. Bama by 5.
Just keep an eye on this, too, because right now, Clemson is 7 for 11 from behind the three-point line. That's 64%. They're on the season a 78-79% free throw shooting team. You know that's going to come into play down the stretch of this tough game.
Sears leaves it for Pringle. He's fouled, and let's see who they call it on here. They're going to give the foul to P.J. Hall. That's a big one right there. His 4th. 58-53. Alabama leads it by 5. Poor 3-point shooting by the Tigers of Clemson, just 2 of 16. Alabama started 1 for 13. They've already got 30 attempts up, and this foul on P.J. Hall, Jim, puts 4 on him, and he's out of the game right now.
And that's a tough one, too, because P.J. felt he was in position where his arms were straight in the air, but it was his body that made the contact. Again, there's been a lot of contact in this game that hasn't been called. That one, unfortunately, for P.J. was called.
And interesting, he is coming back.
Yeah.
Sat down for a moment, and Brad Brownell saying we're riding with P.J. Hall here with 4 fouls as Pringle hits the free throw.
Yeah, that's because of his history with fouls and committing some fouls that probably not the smartest. To have him right now with 8 minutes left on the floor is a gamble.
Pringle short, 1 out of 2. Pringle has drawn 10 fouls in this game. It's been a big part of the story for Alabama as they lead it by 6. Hall stays while Nelson sits with his 4 fouls. Here is Girard. Ran away from that one. Joe Girard hits a big 3. That's his 2nd. Answer 3 on its way, and down it goes. Rylan Griffin.
Right back at you. Right. I cover a lot of Michigan State games, and they're very eerily similar on how they approach transition. Wow.
Joe Girard. Starting to feel it right now. The 3s are coming quick. Griffin kicks it to Stevenson. He's having a career night. Career high in 3s. Career high in scoring. He's got 19 on 5 made 3-pointers. How about this flurry? Last 2 trips down the floor for each team.
Well, you notice they started hitting them once we put that graphic up on how poor the 3-point shooting has been. And we've been able to find the stroke with some really clean looks. Contribute to that, Brian.
And now it's Shefflin for 3. Back higher. Estrada with a rebound.
Shefflin not able to get a little too strong on that shot attempt.
Griffin gets him in rotation. Here is Sears. Another 3 is down. The Tide rolling now from beyond the arc. 33 3-point attempts. Timeout. Alabama with their biggest lead.
Stay the course. If you're Alabama, yeah, some shots didn't go in early, but the tide changes. Tide, get it? Changes when you're able to knock in shots like this. Big-time basket, Sears. Loving it.
Just as we were going to break, you might have seen Rylan Griffin hit the floor here. Take a look, bottom left of your screen as Joe Girard comes up on him. They actually took a look at this play during the timeout. Gene Steratore is with us. Gene, you looked at the same replays the officials did. What'd you come up with?
Yeah, BA, look, it's just there's minor contact there and really a delayed response by Rylan Griffin. Really nothing, just a little embellishment and ready to play basketball right now, fellas.
All right, good stuff. Keith Kimball and James Britting made that decision during that timeout.
He's got to go get a sad card with that after.
PJ Hall with a three-pointer. They left him wide open. And the big man hits a three, and the three-pointers are raining down right now for both teams.
Yeah. Second half, Alabama 8 for 12 from behind three, and Clemson 4 for 11.
Mark Sears has made 5 consecutive threes. There have been 6 consecutive possessions with made three-pointers for both of these teams. Bama up 8, late clock, puts up a prayer. It'll be a shot clock violation. And Clemson, who has been stingy defensively all tournament long, gets a serve here.
Well, look where Pringle's hands are at. He had the help on that rotation. It really wasn't his help. That should have been Stevenson's on the backside to get down there. He left P.J. Hall open. But how about coming out of the timeout? Coach Brownmore goes to a zone defense. It kind of stymies the Crimson Tide, hence forcing the shot clock violation.
Nelson back on the floor. Hall's going right at him. Shefflin with a rebound and foul. It's going to be on Alabama. Pringle commits the foul.
Yeah, but this is what happened. The advantage came on the pump fake because P.J. Hall just hit the three. Pringle was late on the long closeout. That opened up the driving lane, which took the body off of Shefflin to be able to get inside and get that offensive rebound. You gotta stay you have to stay disciplined with your defense when you're closing out on the shooters.
And now an excellent free throw shooting team in the bonus the rest of the way. 1-1 here for Shefflin. He misses again. So Shefflin now 3 out of 6 from the free throw line. Nelson playing with those 4 fouls for Alabama. Sears, he's hit 6 in a row. Mark Sears. Alabama by 9. 15 made threes, the most Clemson has allowed this season. They gave up 15 against Georgia Tech in January. Shefflin gets to the basket. It goes and one. Griffin hit the deck. Shefflin with an answer. He's got a free throw to make it a 3-point play.
Well, when you recognize you have a mismatch, you have to take advantage of it quickly. And Shefflin did an excellent job of turning to the baseline. Why? Because you see up top, Mark Sears is right there to try to come and double.
Shefflin coming off that miss. 75% free throw shooter during the year. Another one. Oh, he's got the thing right now. That could be big because he's going to get to the line.
75% free throw shooter. I'm telling you, it comes down. You've left some points off the board right there.
4 missed free throws for Shefflin now. Estrada, he's throwing it down into second gear. He sets up Sears. Sears wants to reset. Looking for a screen. Chase Hunter is on him. Sears gets it right back, turns the corner. Sears drives, lost the handle. Into the hands of Estrada. He got it off in time. Pringle follow, no. Pringle gets it back. Pringle! A man's rebound twice. He goes to the line for a pair. Nick Pringle. Boy, late clock, Estrada. Close.
It was close, man.
Like he just got it off
That was
in time.
close.
And then Pringle twice.
And that's in between 3 Clemson players that Nick Pringle was able to kind of snatch away that offensive rebound.
Pringle, 5 of 8 from the line. Grant Nelson with all that foul trouble in the first half. Pringle has stepped up in a big way. And remember, Pringle in the starting lineup in the absence of Latrell Wrightsell Jr. out with a head injury. Hoping to get him back, Allie reported, if Alabama advances to the Final Four.
The coach Nate Oates promised him he would do everything in his power to get him another game to get back and play. That means Final Four, but it's 4 minutes left, and you know Clemson is going to make a run back at you. Nothing is locked up for the Crimson Tide.
P.J. Hall playing with the 4 fouls. Clemson down 9, under 4 minutes. Trip to the Final Four on the line. Hall with Pringle on him. Sears comes with a double. Chase Hunter now, open 3. Another big 3-pointer. Chase Hunter hits his first of the game. He's into double figures. Sears, another 3, missed it. And the follow, count it! Pringle gets the bucket and the foul. He'll have a chance at a 3-point play. Nick Pringle coming up big on the boards again. Well, a lot to unpack here. 3:25 left in this one. So, the foul was called on P.J. Hall. That's his 5th. He is out, but they went to the replay review to see for a possible hook and hold. Gene Steratore. They wouldn't commit to which player they were talking about. The result, Gene, has been just a common foul, no hook and hold.
Yeah, and you know what, B.A., when Hall goes in and starts to box out Pringle with the arm in front of his chest, Pringle does grab onto Hall's arm, as we can see here from this angle. He doesn't really restrict it completely there. It kind of gets tangled. And initially, I thought James Britting was pointing to the floor to say on the floor, but then he rang it up and gave it a good hoop. So he evidently was where he was. He was calling the foul, I think, on Hall all along. But I think he went from the floor, and I agree with him that it's a good hoop because Pringle's elevating to get the tap in, so he gives him an and one on the play.
Wow, what a swing. Thank you, Gene. Good stuff there. What a swing, Jimmy.
Well, I had a question for Gene in regards to if Pringle hooks him and he doesn't let it go, then at the minute he lets it go, how is that a foul on P.J. Hall, though, if he initiates that contact?
If he's calling the Pringle hook there, JJ, he's taking the hoop away, and we'll go with a common foul on the other side with Pringle, take the basket away, and you can do that if you're looking to see if there's a flagrant. So they did look at every one of those aspects as we see a potential good hoop and one on this side, fellas.
All right, Gene, that's excellent. Also taking the foul away from Hall.
Yep.
But it didn't work out that way. Hall's fouled out. It goes in Bama's favor. Shefflin comes right back and delivers with a hoop and a chance at another 3-point play. Appreciate Gene Steratore.
Yes.
Good explanation.
Yep. The challenge you have here with Clemson, can you lean into your defense and get the necessary stops you need? You need 2 to 3 stops in a row, okay? That's what you need on this end of the court.
Crunch time here. Under 3 minutes to go. 2 programs that have never been to the Final Four. For each, only their 2nd appearance in the Elite 8. Grant Nelson playing with the 4 fouls. Drops it off. Pringle inside. He's fouled by Shefflin. Nick Pringle having a big-time game here when the lights are the brightest. What a pass here from Nelson.
Great pass, great recognition, but for a high IQ player like Ian Shefflin, you can't help off the baseline. That double team has to come from somewhere else because Pringle has been too dominant on the offensive boards inside.
Pringle with his 4th miss. Coming up next, Ernie Johnson, Clark Kellogg, Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley, Coach Jay Wright, all in studio. They'll have the highlights, the analysis. It's Inside March Madness, presented by Buick, only on TBS. So clutch free throws here. And Pringle missed them both. Now 7 for 12 from the line is Pringle. 6-point game. Clemson is down with the ball. Godfrey on the floor for Hall. Here's Chase Hunter. Gives it right back. Reset it. Shefflin working on Pringle. Nothing there. Shot clock to 9. Joe Girard needs a screen. He lets it fly. Girard! A big three for the Tigers. 14 in the half for Joe Girard. 2 minutes to go. Inside, wide open, Pringle lays it in, and one!
Big time shot by Joe Girard. Look, the hesitation right there freezes Grant Nelson through you very much, but then another mistake defensively by Shefflin. You're in the zone defense. Why are you coming out so far knowing that Nick Pringle is in the lane? He's a lob threat, offensive rebound threat. That's two critical decisions. One you were able to get away with, 2 missed free throws. With this one, we'll see.
54% from the line this year. That one-handed free throw, that was pure. Needed to see that one go through. A 3-point trip for Alabama. 2-possession game again, almost a steal by Pringle. Now Shefflin going to work, falls down, needs help. Shefflin, did he get a timeout? He did. Could have been disaster for Clemson with 1:43 left, but they get the timeout. Tigers ball when we come back, down 6.
Well, Mark Sears stepped up big time. Listen, it wasn't easy sledding early. Missed his first 6 from behind the 3, but then found that heater. They got to go and make 6 in a row. 5 for 6 in this second half. And come over, you needed some baskets. Some big time baskets. Mark Sears got the job done for him.
SEC scoring champion, averages over 21 a game. See the game reset here. Clemson has 1 timeout remaining. Both teams in the bonus as we send it to Allie LaForce.
Well, Brian and Jim, talking about Sears, he told me yesterday he shot 28% from 3 his freshman year. He remembers it like yesterday. After that year, he went and made 15,000 threes that summer. 15,000 makes, not attempts. And ever since then, it's changed the way he approaches things. Of course, now he's not exactly making 15,000 a summer, but he tries on non-game days to make about 150 a day.
Well, he's a game changer, and all that work is paying off. He's got his 25th 20-point game. Clemson with Clark. What a finish that was. He's fallen down, and Jack Clark delivers the layup. It's a 4-point Bama lead. 1.5 minutes to go. So the right to go to the Final Four to take on UConn, the overall #1 seed. Sears, been the hot hand, step back 3. Money! Mark Sears again! Big shot Bob says there's a big shot Mark in the house. Robert Horry enjoying that one. Clemson has to be perfect now. Oh, Griffin knocked it out of the hands, almost had a steal. Under 1 minute to go. Chase Hunter for 3, up and over Pringle. Missed it. Nelson with a rebound. It's ripped out of his hands. And Godfrey lays it in.
You kidding me? He took it right away from Grant Nelson. You talking about a big-time play. Hey, Godfrey.
Sears, ball control here, gonna work the clock. Next foul will put him at the line. Oh, turnover! Pringle turned it over. Sears with the foul. That is the 10th-team foul. And 2 free throws coming. Pringle with an unforced error here.
But he had assumed that Mark Sears was gonna be there. You can't do that at this time of the game. Just like you got to be strong with the ball. RJ Godfrey able to take it, and watch this turnover here. He's thinking that Mark Sears is going. I think Mark sees Clark back there. That's why he didn't go.
And he takes the foul that might have ended up in a dunk. So he takes the foul to put him at the line for 2. Jack Clark. Oh, misses the first one. Big miss. Pringle's turnover.
You see why Mark stopped. By Clark being there, he had nowhere to go. He was going to peel back out towards half court, I'm assuming, and try to get the pass back that way.
Clark, another good free throw shooter, 83%. Clemson has struggled from the line, and he missed them both. And Estrada's got the rebound. That is costly for Clemson. Clemson has only made half their free throws in this game, 8 for 16. They are running out of time, sending Alabama to the line here. 35 seconds remain, and it's Estrada at the free throw line.
You said it, 8 for 16, 78% free throw shooting team. It's a 5-point game. You miss 8 free throws.
Estrada right down the heart. Clemson is a top 10 team in the nation in free throw percentage. And it bites him here late. Big one here for Aaron Estrada. Hits them both in the clutch. Clemson's got to go fast. 33 seconds left. Chase Hunter drives. They let him drive. He gets the dunk. 5-point game. Alabama with the lead. And Nate Oates wants to talk it over.
When you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Nick Pringle has been huge for the Crimson Tide in the second half, whether that's offensive rebounds, he's getting stuff in the dunker spot, he's receiving passes in the zone, he's knocked in a couple free throws, 4 offensive rebounds, have kept multiple possessions alive for the Crimson Tide in the second half, and guys step up at different times. He allows Mark Sears to be Mark Sears by doing the dirty work inside. Big time play by him in the second half.
Double-double, 13 in the second half. Alabama will put it in and expecting a quick foul here. Estrada takes the timeout. 84-79, Alabama with the ball. 30 and change remaining in this Elite Eight game. It's a game reset here. Alabama with the ball, leading by 5. Clemson out of timeouts. Alabama has 2 remaining. Possession arrow, that's a big one there. If there is a tie-up, possession arrow belongs to Bama.
This is where you trust one of your better decision makers for Nate Oates to take the ball out, and here's that formation spread across for the Crimson Tide to get it in.
And they get it into Nelson. Nelson's fouled right away. A second ticks off the clock, down to the other end of the floor. And Grant Nelson will take his turn on the free throw line.
Well, Brian, I say it all the time. The coaches drill their players about taking free throw shooting serious and how it could swing the balance of a game, win or loss, by your ability to concentrate and knock down free throws.
Nelson, 81%. He was clutch against Carolina at the line. He made 10 of 13. And he stays that way. Grant Nelson. He's got the Crimson Tide feeling it right now. Still a 2-possession game. Clemson out of timeouts, remember. And P.J. Hall has fouled out. Chauncey Wiggins on the floor. 3-point shooters on the floor here for the Tigers. One more for Nelson.
Clemson, you want to guard the 3 and give up the 2. So don't foul and bail Clemson out.
3-possession game. Chase Hunter drives it. Estrada's on the strip down. Hunter gets it back. A lot of time taken off. Gerard for 3. No. Nelson fighting for it. Estrada's got it. And now Alabama can put this one away. They hold Clemson on the other end. Free throws coming. Alabama got down early in this one. Clemson had it the way they wanted it in the first 10 minutes of this game. They led at one point by 13. And then Alabama started making their three-pointers in the second half of the first half, and they carried it over to half number 2 as Estrada misses.
It's like a great boxer. Okay, I'm gonna feel you. Can you punch? Can I take it? Okay, what are you countering with? And then I'm gonna go into my game plan, and that's what Alabama was able to do. They felt the initial punch, thrust, but then, like you said, the second half of that first half, they figured it out a little bit more.
Bama started 1 of 13 from three-point range, 15 of 23 cents. Hunter trying to draw a foul, hits the shot clock above the backboard.
How about the play of this young man, Jaron Stevenson? Like I said, it was Grant Nelson the last game against Carolina. It was that young man, the freshman, and not just the points. I'm gonna go back to it. It's not just the points. His interior defense set up a lot of missed shots by Clemson in the lane.
Jaron Stevenson, a career high tonight in points and made threes. Stevenson coming off the bench for 19 points, 5 made three-pointers. His first 3 was a corner air ball. Didn't affect him at all. He just kept firing. Changed the game. Nick Pringle deserves a lot of praise too. A double-double for him, 16 in this game. Clock continues to tick. Here is Gerard with 5 remaining. He hits a 3. Too little, too late for Clemson though on the run out. Estrada, and he will lay it in. And the Alabama Crimson Tide will roll into the Final Four for the first time in program history.